the new US economic agenda probably increases uncertainty for the global economy everywhere. So tariffs are not a good news for global growth. They are not a good news for inflation in the US, but we will see. Are they a threat? Will there be a reality? We should obviously negotiate, speak with our allies. But may I insist on one thing? There is a domestic agenda of Mr. Trump, including deregulation, including being more favorable for growth. We should have our domestic agenda on the European side. And this is what President von der Leyen spoke about this morning in Davos. The economic destiny of Europe is not in American hands, it's in our own ones.
Exactly. But the ability of the Europeans to chart their destiny and chart the execution of that, the history is not good. The institutions are not built for speedy reaction.
It depends, if I may. If you look at history, I agree about the two last decades. There has been a long sleep of Europe. There had been several crises, including COVID. But if you look in a more distant past, look at what was called Eurosclerosis 30 years ago. And Europe answered with the single market, Jacques Delors, and with its single currency, the euro. And then we were able to deliver. It's time for Europe to wake up from this too long sleep.
You will have read President Lagarde's speech to the Bankers' Conference last year. Market reform, single market reform, market openness, market access.
I couldn't agree more.
But it's not happened, and you've all been saying this for so long. The difference now is you have an economy in the United States that's going to become more aggressive and going on steroids. And you're still flailing around talking about implementing the Draghi report, but not actually getting on with it.
Look, Richard, some quarters ago, it did not exist even in the political speeches. Now it's a political priority. But I agree, it takes time. These are structural reforms. It's one reason more to start this year. And this year is decisive for the European growth agenda.
Right. What needs to happen to get Europe to act more efficiently?
If I may sum up the Draghi report, we have to multiply size by muscle by speed. Size, this is the internal market. We should integrate more. It's too divided. Muscle, it's a financial muscle. We spoke about the saving and investment union. We have significant private savings in Europe. And speed, this is more innovation and less bureaucracy.
I hear you beautifully, Governor.
Which is already something, Richard.
How do you do it? We've heard this before.
No. You haven't heard it before because Europe was focused on domestic crisis. Now we have this threat on our innovation capacity, and it's time again to push for a significant European innovation agenda. And we have the recipes. May I insist on one thing on the Draghi and Letta report? They have no fiscal costs. You can add to that, if wished, public investment, Eurobonds, but it's a different part. The structural agenda, as we did with the single market and the single currency 30 years ago, we must do it now. And I think there is a much clearer political will if, by the way, Mr. Trump's agenda has one use for Europe, it's this wake-up call.
What word would you use to describe, as you see it, the next 4 years?
I think it's an American lesson and a European necessity.
Go on.
Self-confidence.
Ooh. Now that I was not expecting.
Yeah. I am lucky to surprise you. This is a powerful US lesson, and this is probably the decisive US advantage.
And that's what the next 4 years is going to be, the summing it up. Self-confidence. Excellent.
It's at least my wish and my hope at the start of this new year.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
I'm grateful.
you.